I couldn't be more excited. Martinsville. Next up, my favorite track, the paperclip, the half mile. I want to go back to Bristol a few weeks ago. I know they don't look anything alike, but they're both half mile and they're both concrete, and that's what I want to talk about.
And they're both bringing the tire they had last fall back to the spring race. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Looking forward to the weather. Looks like low 60s, should be sunshine, but again, I think a lot like what we saw at Bristol, a cooler race than what we saw last fall.
So why does that matter? Because all weekend long at Martinsville, the conversation in the garage will be, does the racetrack take rubber? These are two images from the fall race. Lap 17 on the left, lap 364 on the right. You see how much darker it is on the right. I question if the racetrack will even get to what lap 17 looked like in the fall.
I would be surprised. I would be surprised. Having been through this multiple times, the spring race at Martinsville, talked about this with Larry Mack about the Bristol piece after that, is that the ground temperature is just not warm enough. The track temperature doesn't get warm enough to really let the rubber lay to it. I'd be surprised if we saw it get to where lap 17 is, which tells me that this racetrack is going to be right around the curve.
All right, so knowing that, having that preparation, how do you see the weekend? What are the pitfalls for the weekend? What's the recipe to win up in Martinsville?
You got to win on Saturday. I think you got to qualify in the top 5 really to put yourself in that position. It's going to be hard to pass. I think as this racetrack, unless this tire lays way more rubber than I ever thought could be laid on a cold racetrack, I think this racetrack is very difficult to pass and make up track position. You're going to have to execute your way through the day. You got to earn the track position qualifying, and you're going to have to work on executing your way and maintaining that all day long.
I call this race, this is going to be a running game. Like in the running game in the NFL, not real flashy, not a lot of moving the ball down the field. It's going to be 3.5 yards of play every play, try to get a first down and inch your way forward. That's what Martinsville is going to be. It may take you 100 to 200 laps to go from 7th to 5th, but you can't lose your patience. You have to inch your way forward. Stay on the lead lap for the first 200, get in the top 10 for the middle 200, get in the top 5 in the last 100. Well, this way it's only a 400-lap race. I'd have to adjust, but you need to be in the top 5 in that last 100 laps. Maybe there's a restart that can go your way, but in the end, you can't make mistakes. Pit stall 1, big advantage, but we saw last year you can speed out of pit stall 1.
So in our day, pit stall 1 was great, but when we went down to 40-car fields, we eliminated pit stall 1. What is now pit stall 1, it's pit stall 2. You can, the tires are soft enough, you can make enough traction to end up speeding, leaving that pit stall. We saw that with Ryan Preece last year in the spring.